Good afternoon or morning, everybody. Welcome back to the weather forecast here by Adrian's Weather Forecast. This is another major update on the extreme severe weather threat and tornado outbreak we will be seeing today. We have severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, and we'll be seeing this playing out all through today. Again, we're up to a moderate risk, guys, and this is in the Midwest, not in the South Central, Southeast, Central Plains. This is, guys, is in the Midwest, including areas that will usually be seeing closest snow around this time. So definitely something that we're not used to at this time of the year, and we're definitely going to be seeing a huge tornado outbreak for millions to be in that threat, including Chicago, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Cleveland, and St. Louis, and even Davenport. So again, major areas, and we're going to be looking at detailed radars, the risks that you will have for severe weather. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Also, if you want to find out what risk you'll be in and see how it's going to play out, also be sure to subscribe. And last but not least, share the channel to any friends or family that you think will love my channel or that you think will really in need of this video for information in case they will be getting in the threat for tornadoes. But without further ado, let's get in the video. So here's the National Weather Service. This is all refreshed right now. We have a tornado warning out here southeast of St. Louis, and then we also have severe thunderstorm warning south of Cleveland, near Youngstown, Ohio. Also seeing special weather statements for severe weather into Pennsylvania, north of Pittsburgh. Also severe thunderstorm warnings for southern Indiana, more like southeastern Indiana, and including western counties of Ohio, and also into central Illinois. We're definitely going to be seeing a lot more tornado watches to be in effect, tornado severe thunderstorm warnings and watches, and we also have flash flood watches in effect. Could be seeing incredibly heavy rain. Let's look at detail though for the tornado warning out here into Missouri. We'll have a small little band, and we actually only have we actually only have a slight chance for these areas right here. So we already have a tornado warning and a slight chance. So that's definitely going to show you how if you're in a moderate risk, you're definitely going to be seeing tornadoes without a doubt. There's probably a 100% chance. We have not had a tornado yet today. We're going to be looking at the storm reports, and I'm hoping to have an evening update. The severe weather will be mostly over. The worst of the severe weather will be mostly over, but I want to show you guys what has happened today. And we're still going to be seeing severe weather as we go in tonight. Again, we have this tornado warning in effect for just west of, I believe that says Farmington, Missouri. If you're Farmington and between Rolla, and also just not far from the border of Illinois, you have a tornado warning there. So definitely something we need to worry about. And we even have a severe weather statement out there, just not far from Springfield, Illinois as well. So definitely something we need to worry about. We're going to be seeing a really, really bad severe weather, and we also have flood warnings across the Mississippi River and also Ohio River. We're going to be definitely seeing threats for flooding as well, with non-stop rain in these areas as well. And then again, let's actually see if we can actually quickly look at the radar here again. This is what we see right now in the area. We see really strong band with a multi-cell system. Again, here it is right now. It's actually surrounded by some really scattered severe weather, mainly just really heavy rain. But again, we do have a really big threat. So if you're actually in the threat, if you're near Farmington, if you're actually near out there in the border of Illinois right here, which is right here, if you're near the border of Illinois, you're definitely in a threat, as this will be moving eastward at, I think 17 miles per hour. So really moving at a fast pace. And again, that's going to be just north of Centerville and also west of Farmington. So again, you can definitely see it definitely has a lot of energy there, and definitely has a threat for causing possibly tornadoes, and that could possibly be our first tornado of the day reported. Now we'll also see if we just check out right here the radar. We're seeing very strong bands south of. Actually, we saw very heavy bands now southeast of Indianapolis, and now we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect as well. That's going to be heading towards Dayton, Cincinnati, also Richmond, Ohio on the border. We're definitely be seeing incredibly heavy rain these bands could also possibly move towards Columbus and also move towards Cleveland. We'll definitely be seeing some threats there. As also, that's why we also have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect south of Cleveland. Let's actually check that out right here. I believe I actually have some viewers out there. Again, yes, we do have Youngstown, Ohio, under a severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, all these areas south of Cleveland, the county south of Cleveland, that's where we do have this incredibly big threat for severe weather, as we are seeing really, really powerful bands actually really starting to appear. And we're definitely seeing some threats possibly as well. Maybe these bands can also worsen for Pittsburgh and also out there off Lake Erie. So definitely something we need to worry about right there. Really, really strong bands there. And that's going to be the first taste of severe weather so far this year, really, for these areas. So again, like I said, no tornado reports as of right now, but we do have 25 hail reports already, stretching all the way from Texas all the way to Pennsylvania. So definitely a threat for widespread issues. Again, we don't really see hail reports until really late April in these areas. Yeah, we have severe weather coming, obviously, for the first week of April, but not really this bad at this extent. Again, we saw some hail reports near Springfield, Illinois. We also saw some hail reports as well out there in our southern Indiana. That could have been really, I believe that's the most recent, actually. And we also have a ton of reports out there near northwestern, or actually just mainly north central Ohio, including northeastern and northwestern. Out there near, not far from Fort Wayne on the other side of Ohio, we'll be seeing really some really strong reports of hail, and that's probably most likely from the system or the band we just saw right now in the National Weather Service. Again, also we do have one wind report as well for not far from the Ohio River and Ohio Valley. Now we'll be looking at the Storm Prediction Center, and again, we're still at a moderate risk, but we have major, and I mean major, updates on this alone. We have major cities that have gone up one level, and the level 4 moderate risk has also become a lot more widespread, stretching a lot more into Iowa, stretching closer and closer to Missouri, and expanding in central Illinois. We'll be seeing possibly Gulf-sized hail, if not bigger, which is actually incredibly big, and major updates, and I mean really big. Marginal risk for today's in the dark green, that's level 1, so mainly going to be in the outskirts of the severe weather. You could have one or two, maybe some strong winds, but nothing really major. Again, you still have to be on the lookout, because, again, we've had tornadoes before, and slight chances and all that, but again, the marginal is at 27 million people. That's from Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Akron, and Grand Rapids. And look, we have a marginal risk, but some of these areas in the marginal, such as Youngstown, are actually in severe thunderstorm warnings. So you can still be in a marginal, see really strong band at some points that can develop and maybe extend you into a level 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And a slight chance, we have now 31 million people. That's for really big cities. Indianapolis is actually right on the border of enhanced risk and slight chance. It's actually right on the border actually there. So that's showing you how possibly Indianapolis could possibly be an enhanced risk by the end of today. Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, you are getting in the slight chance now, stretching even closer to West Virginia. Memphis, you are under a slight chance. Milwaukee, and even Nashville. Little Rock as well, Shreveport as well, and Poplar Bluff and Paducah. Now for the enhanced risk. This is probably where we have the biggest update. It's updated to around 15 million people. Yesterday, I think it was a lot lower. I think it was like 7 million, something like that. And now Chicago has been added to the level 3 enhanced risk, as well as St. Louis, and including Rockford. We did not see this enhanced risk. We actually saw a slight chance for Chicago yesterday. We saw a slight chance for St. Louis yesterday. We saw, I'm talking about not yesterday's update. I'm talking about we're looking at today's, but yesterday. So, just showing how big is actually worsening. Rockford, you've been added to level 3. Chicago, you've been added to level 3. Gary, you've been added to level 3. Waterloo, you've been added to level 3. And St. Louis, you have been added to a level 3. Now for the moderate risk. This is possibly doubled size compared to the new updates. Now updating to 4 million people. And it's incredibly close to Chicago. If Chicago is in this moderate risk, it would probably be the first time in decades. I really don't remember the last time they were under a moderate risk. And I'm probably saying maybe not even in the 2015 or 2014. Like, this is really bad. It's getting inching closer, probably like 10 miles away, because it's in Aurora, Illinois. It's in Aurora, Naperville, Joliet, Springfield's been added, and Peoria has been added as well. It's also including the Davenport area, which is the border of Iowa and Illinois. It's also really getting really close to far northern Missouri. But again, guys, this is within miles of stretching to Chicago and Rockford. And if you think about it, Milwaukee's not even that far from it, really, if you think of it mile-wise. And we are still at a 15% chance for severe weather. Look, we actually have Chicago, guys, in a 10% chance. And this is, you're probably thinking, oh, it's not even close to 50% chance. What do you mean there's a 100% chance guaranteed? Guys, on the odometer, we have up to a 7 in central Illinois, which means 70% chance. This is of an outbreak. And a 10% chance, really, for NOAA is kind of like saying a 70 or 80% chance. But when you have a 15% chance, that's like saying you have a 100% chance in that area. It's really rare to get past a 5% chance unless there's a guaranteed for tornadoes. We have tornadoes in 2% chances. We've had that EF3, the Nashville tornado, earlier this year. They were under a 2% chance of severe, actually a 5% chance. So yeah, we have up to 17 million people alone in the 5% chance. Nashville, once again, Cincinnati, Louisville, and also Memphis, 10% chance. Bigger cities, 14 million people. Chicago, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Rockford, Cedar Rapids, 15% chance. Up to 4 million people. Aurora, Naperville, Joliet, Springfield, Imperial. Really big cities. And look how close Chicago is to that 15% chance. Wind threats maintains pretty low at a 15% chance. For the winds, it's a lot different. A 15% chance for winds is just a 15% chance. Like, winds aren't the biggest threat right now, and really we could possibly be the biggest winds going to be coming from the tornadoes. And hail threats, not incredibly high. Yeah, 30% chance is decent. So we've already had hail reports in these areas already, and there's definitely a lot more, and that's going to be including Chicago. Chicago is in the highest risk for hail. So guys, Chicago, you guys are going to now guaranteed you guys are over with spring once you get past once you're in this. And now we're going to be looking at the NAM3 KM model here, and the next 2 hours, again, it's probably a strong band in Missouri. That's to bring that tornado warning south of St. Louis. Also have this very strong band, also Toledo. Would not doubt if we have severe thunderstorm warnings being issued there. As we now get the next couple hours, we're going to start seeing these bands getting a lot worse. And look at this. We're going to be seeing really, really strong bands coming in. This is possibly going to be really strong bands. Also, really smaller, but also possibly really good chance for multi-celled systems. And then we have a wall cloud system, which is not a good sign. That's going to be possibly ripping through a Davenport. That's going to be possibly affecting out there near into including possibly Springfield. Very also strong rain, but also a chance for severe weather moving near the western part of Wisconsin. That could be affecting Eau Claire. And look at the incredibly strong band we are seeing out there into northeastern Indiana. Also, again, it's really strong bands that's going to be moving towards Paducah and also the Ohio River. More bands that will be heading towards Rockford, Madison, Wisconsin, and also Chicago. Look at this. This is possibly going to be a guarantee for seeing some action right here for Toledo. Toledo, you could definitely be seeing an upgrade for sure. Detroit, you'll be kind of avoiding the worst of it because just south of you, we'll be seeing really strong bands. More and more bands that will be heading towards Lake Michigan or across Lake Michigan. That's not going to bring in a good that's not going to be any good for Michigan, as you guys are going to get wrecked now. Lansing, Muskegon, and Detroit also going to bring more bands out there in Indianapolis. So guys, it's just non-stop, really non-stop severe weather. And you know what the cool thing is? Not cool, but interesting thing is, usually we're seeing southern type patterns out here into all the way in the Midwest, and this is southeast, more like southeastern winter weather. Look, we're seeing incredibly strong severe weather here, like really strong bands, possibly flooding threats, and really strong winds, severe weather, lightning, thunder, and then next thing you know, we have snow in these areas. So it's going to be a really type of weird pattern. That's going to be for Minneapolis as well, Duluth, Minnesota, Eau Claire, and maybe even Green Bay. So really strange pattern here. That's really interesting. And then we could possibly have some more rain coming in. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And bye, guys. Everybody stay safe. And I'm hoping to have another video out later if I'm not busy, and I should not. But bye.